Hello, everyone. This is Patricia with Patricia's Crafting Corner. Today's prayer or scripture: I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Psalm 16 and 8. Okay, everyone. Today we're going to do something that I have been just really neglectful on. I ordered these molds back in February. Matter of fact, I invested in every mold that they had. This is the purse mold, and this particular mold is the cat mold. Now, Easter's coming up, and I love making things for my little great granddaughter and anybody else that would be wanting one. But today, we're going to just stick on working for making something for her, for Kayani. I measured, or at least tried to measure out how much it would take to make this particular mold. And I'm really not quite sure because, my reading was a little bit off. I don't know if it was because I honestly couldn't tell what it was because of my sight. I'm getting new glasses, and that hopefully will help me a lot. But what I did do, um, I mixed or poured out 2 ounces of polyurethane resin from Let's Resin, and this is part 8. I haven't completed it. I'm just making sure I don't find anything else in the mold. I did squirt a little bit with the alcohol, um, just a tiny bit, because I want this to turn out as perfect as I can. It's not a very deep mold, it's shallow, but I want this to be something that Kayani would love, and I can make the others. Now, I do have the heart, I have the heart shaker mold, I have the rectangle, and I have the little square one, and that we'll be working on next. But I just wanted to let you know that the only way I really put forth any effort in doing this, I was watching Michelle from Glitz and Glitter, and she made her rectangle one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now if she's doing it, I'm going to definitely do it. Not saying that, I can do what she do, but the fact that people are starting to make the purses again. And I once watched a young lady, maybe about a year or so ago, who basically just did purses and some other things, but her main focus was on the purses. I've added just a tidbit of the crushed crystal mica by Unicone Art into part A because I want just a little bit of glitz in here, not a whole lot. And I'm mixing that into part A very well. And when I get ready to add part B, we'll stir it up really good. So I'm going to start with 4 ounces of the polyurethane, period. I don't know if it would take all of it or if it's going to take more. We're going to start because, like I say, I couldn't get an accurate reading. And I want this to, excuse the noise, I'm trying to open my container. Wow. Push and turn and push. These things just give me the blues. But we're going to get it open. I know we will. So just bear with me while I'm opening this and talking at the same time. But that's what we're going to do today. So I do have some things that I want to decorate it with. Now, I got my mold from Amazon, all of them. And I say I invested in them because they range from like 25 to and maybe 20 and 25 and up as far as the purse molds went. And then I also have some little tiny, I call them little embellishments. They're the little Hello Kitty. Kayani loves Hello Kitty. So that's going to be the part of the decoration on the outside of the purse once we make two. They only come with one mold, and I believe I paid about $15 for this individual mold. I did order another one so that I can do the front and the back at the same time to cut down on it. And I also invested in getting some frames for the purses. I even invested in getting extra chains. So just in case someone else would want something, I would have that. Now, the rectangle purses only had the different colors, and as far as gold, silver, and there was like a steel black or something like that. But most of these only came in gold. And then I believe one other purse has the gold and red gold frames. So I didn't see any in silver. So we're going to be using the gold frame too. I have that, but we're just going to, so that the table won't be so crowded, we will just start with this. Give me a minute. I'll be right back and we'll get going. Okay, I'm back. I have part A stirred. Now we're going to add part B. And then we're going to commence to make our purse. Okay. Now, let's get this to stir it up. I know you don't have a lot of time to waste with this polyurethane, and I'm going to mix it as well as possible. And I'm going to start pouring. And I do have a mold off to the side for any of the excess. Okay, I have a little rabbit mold here. Going to pour the remaining amount. Oh wow, got that full quick. So I have my little child figurine. Now we're going to give this time to cure. Come back, demold it, and go for it. So I'll see you when it's cured and the other side has been made. I'm not going to come back until both parts have been made and cured. That way we won't have to waste any time with all the stopping and starting, and we'll just be able to go for it. So I'll see you when it's all cured. Okay, I'm back a little bit quicker than I thought. So the polyurethane is a no-go. Too thin. Broke. So now we're going to go to plan B, which is our resin. And I'm going to be using the 4-hour resin. And as I said before, once everything cures, we'll be back. So just wanted to give you an update on how things progressed. I want you guys to know that this is a learning lesson, and I'm learning for the first time what to use and what not to use. Okay, see you soon. Okay, everyone. Before we continue on, I wanted to just come back and let you see the most beautiful blessing that I got in such a while. Miss Wanda of Wanda's Creation, Blessed Creations, sent me this Resineers debubbler. Now, it's a used one, but you know what? I don't have one, so it's just like new to me. I'm going to use it for the first time today, and I just wanted to just come on and show you what she sent me. Such a blessing to have, because in all honesty, I wasn't going to purchase one, but this is even better when somebody just pass it on, pass it forward. You know what I'm saying? And thank you, Wanda. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am going to use this, and every time I use it, I'll think of you. So, with that, I'm going to get back to what I'm doing. I'm getting my resin together to continue on with the cat purse. Now, what I've done is mix up 3 ounces of the white Let's resin. I added just a little bit of shimmer to it. I don't even see it, so maybe I need to add just a little bit more, and that's the crust crystal, like I did with the polyurethane, just to give it just a little shimmer, because I want the purse to have more than just a white coloring. I want it to have a little shimmer to it also. So, and I did have to heat up my resin this morning because it's pretty cool here. And my resin was cold. It's a new box that I hadn't opened. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can get adjusted. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to stir this just a little bit more. I do have my heat mat heated, but I put my mold on my leveler, and if you can see, it's reading level. And I am praying that this 3 ounces will be more than sufficient, because it's such a shallow mold that I don't see. You know, yesterday I mixed up 4 ounces and I had way too much. And I honestly believe that's why the polyurethane didn't work, because it really didn't have any girth to it. It was just there. So I'll move that out the way. And I will start to pour my resin. Now, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do all of this, because you saw it with the first pouring. So when everything is cured, as I promised before, we'll be back. See you soon. Okay, everything has cured. I have added just a little pink glitter in the inner ears, just to give it a little highlighting color. I did have just a teeny bit of flask overage, and what I did was simply use my deburring tool to smooth it. Excuse me. And I've done one side. And the good thing about this is that I had ordered an additional mold, so I was able to do both molds at the same time and do both pieces. Now, one thing I did learn with the first attempt was to be very careful when you pouring your resin, because if you go over just a little bit and you have to do any trimming, it's gonna cause it to, when you trim it, to show, and you don't want any cuts or anything like that in your finished piece. So what I'm doing here is taking my deburring tool and lightly going over just this little bitty lip here and just smoothing it down and making sure not to distort the shape. And go from there. Now, what I do have, I had to go back and look over some videos from my past when I first started out, and I actually ran across the video that introduced me to the purses, and that was by a resin artist, excuse me, and her name was Nakia Lenore Paler, and she kind of like specialized in, or made the purses her little niche project at that time, and she was very good at it. So I found her old video, went back over that, and this is how I was able to learn how to finalize and glue the pieces in to finish our purse. Here's our mold, excuse me, the frame. I have some double-sided tape, and after watching Nakia's video, I saw how she just kind of like cut the PVC plastic that you would use for the insert of the purse so it would fit. And as she did, I am cutting both pieces at the same time. And how she fit it in was that she used the double side tape, which I have here. Now I'm just trying to line up the scissors with this plastic here. And it actually gave it a better fit. Now I'll move my pieces out the way. And how Lenore did, she took her double-sided tape and put it on the edges of each side of the plastic. And I'm going to try to run my finger around here and see if I can find the start of it. Okay. Now this double-sided tape that I had, I bought this when I was doing my scrapbooking and journaling. And this is some leftovers. Okay. Now what Lenore did, let me move this out the way, was actually take, and see with this being curved, I'm going to have to go a different route. I'm going to have to come down and angle my piece. Okay. And I'll show you how I'm doing that. She actually folded it over. I'm just trying to get this little piece off the tape. Now I'm going to bend it over just a little bit so that I can conform it to the mold and stick it down in there. I'm just going to bend and fold. Actually, I'm going to do it against the back of the frame so that I can, once I've got it in there, I'm going to take one of my sticks to push it down in. Now don't let it overwhelm you because this is my first time doing it, but I am not going to give in on this because this is something that it may seem, it kept me away from these molds for quite a little while because I just thought it was going to be so, oh gosh, I don't know what I thought, but I didn't know if I was ready for this part in the adventure of making and creating things with resin, even though, like I said in the beginning, I invested in all of the molds for the purses. Now I'm going to take my stick, put it down in between. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm just and just pressing it in and going against that back end where the tape is to allow it to stick to the frame. And I actually need to turn this so that I can see better. I'm trying to let you see, and I can't see what I'm actually doing here. So, and this is the perfect day to do this. It's a little gloomy out, but it's quiet. There's a threat of a tornado warning watch, but right now, so far, it's not directly in our area. Mm-hmm. So I'm not uh, too overly concerned with that, but it's still, I just hear the wind blowing out. And see, with the shapes, this is just something you're going to run to, putting everything and finishing everything off. But it's not as bad. Once you get started, you'll see that it's not too bad. My tape isn't sticking too well. I don't know if it's not strong enough or if it's just I haven't pressed it in well enough. So I'm just going to go around a little bit more. And I do think it may be that it's just not strong enough. I do have some other double-sided tape, but once this is in, you will glue it. And so hopefully it won't be an issue. But if I need more tape, I will add it. Okay. No, I think I'm going to have to. Okay. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time with this on air because this is going to be a process. It's going to take me a little bit. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing, and I'll be back once I've got both sides done so you can actually see how it looks before we finish and then glue it. Well, everyone, today we're going to conclude our video. This has actually been a 4-day project. I started on Monday and today is Thursday, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. I wanted to show you first my first attempt at making our purse. I'm not happy with the fact that I did such deep trimming, and that's why I was saying be careful when you fill in your mold because you don't want to damage the purse. Now, I probably could go around it with a highlighter or something, but you'd still be able to see in spots. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's definitely there. See if I can angle it a little bit better. Right in its sides and in other places where the overflow was. Now, with that being said, this is our finished purse. Now, this is not on there permanently. I made this practice purse for Kayani. I did have a little difficulty with placing the little plastic, but I know from my experience now how to do it, and it's not that bad of a deal. What I am going to do to finish this off, the next visit I have with Kayani, I will allow her to pick and decide which pieces she wants to put on the little Hello Kitty um, embellishments or Hello Kitty stickers. I know that's a glare on there and I apologize. So with that, I'll have her come back on after she's decided and pick, and I will help her put them on, and we will show her work and let her explain to you her choices as to why she chose what she chose. So thank you for joining me on my journey. And I must admit, I'm a little ashamed of myself that I allowed this little purse to intimidate me, or the purse idea in general, because, you know, fear will keep us from doing a lot of things. And I realized that making this purse, I let that intimidate me to the point where I just threw them to a side. And here it is months later, after watching Michelle from Glitz and Glitters do her purse, that I decided time to try mine. Thank you for joining me. Excuse my voice, it's a little scratchy this morning. But in all, I did enjoy making this purse, and I look forward to making the others. I don't know which one I'll do next, but we will take this journey together, and I hope you will join me for it. So have a blessed day, night. Just be blessed entirely. And don't let fear keep you from doing things that you can do. Because you know what? With Him above, our Lord and Savior, we can do all things. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.